I was running.
Explicit language and contents is only.
If you're under 18, so now that you have head, put some music on.
We are a long-time chronicle our personal adventures of discussions as we navigate lifestyle.
Care to join?
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Jones.
I want to welcome you to episode 20. It's in August already. Over.
Yeah, and in paradise.
Hey.
Yeah.
We next Friday here, but actually we were going to spend the night at the airport and fly out.
But that's next month. It's next month's podcast. So
Yes, you have to stay. Lots of good stuff to tell you.
what are you drinking?
So Janet lemon drop martini. It's very good.
It's the same
Night, and I wanted to make sure I wore a dress to get
attention.
and our playroom. So my plan was to vicinity.
I like that. Yeah.
And almost didn't. I was running today, a pretty hilly neighborhood. I came up to the crest of this. Sure enough, at the top of the hill, skunk, a live skunk. Yeah, this was, if you remember that song from. So this did not want me to. We had a little standoff.
Right.
Yeah, I made it back all right. Otherwise, bathtub of tomato juice right for a while.
Yeah. Better today and this episode.
Oh, I know.
Our first party, because first house party.
Good.
We originally thought but our house awesome that we
It was.
we'll talk about whatever later.
Yes.
But before we get started tonight, before we get to keep
Yes.
at tonight, we have a very, very special forwarding to the end. It's been a long time coming.
We're just a little bit excited.
So after our snapshots, we want to do is that's been somewhat occasionally, and we read them all and respond to them all. And some of the emails are based on things maybe we need to do a better of just telling people our mission is with this podcast.
People are listening to our lens that is different than the way we see the lifestyle and our life experiences and as people, and this we've come to realize we are who we are, have our perspective to share his position in
right. So we're going to read this creed on our new website.
People that are new to us to just kind of where we're coming from.
Right. We believe in sexual non-monogamy. We share is based on the perspectives and experiences, based on our intrinsic noticed and misunderstood.
Fancy way of saying that growing up a certain way, Mr. Jones, family values to each other, back and our life experience together. So have one perspective of other people, family dynamic, other preferences that are different. And there's nothing wrong with that when we share our stories, perspective, because we can't to anything else.
Paragraph. Who feel a need to connect before engaging with them, interested in developing others. We want to make trusted lifestyle friends, meet and interact with new people.
So showing that, I guess, not hookup swingers, those in naughty New Orleans, and actually
definitely
elevator and bars or inside the ballrooms, and good for them. That's we're having a lot of fun. We are definitely have a connection with people before, and we don't want in where we other couple where we to the exclusion of other people. We still like this really cool we have established over the past couple. Love meeting new people, playing with new people.
Yeah.
Sit fresh.
Yeah. Don't judge others who have a different. However, we are not willing to an understanding of those different.
I think I just talked about that one. Yeah, the years in New Orleans. Obviously having a good time.
Well,
I'm not really brave enough to in order to kind of
and that's not us. It's not going to change the way we can better relate to other people.
Right. Fun.
Right.
But I don't need to step out of my comfort zone.
Right. Okay. We're not professional counselors. Sex positivity, we are for the sex positive community. Possibly be a voice for everyone. Knowledge is our own personal.
So neither majored in any form of biology, of county, had extreme as far as our education and goes. So no, we do not know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we do at point experiences.
Right. So. As we've had with other people too. I mean, have a lot of people that we hang out with because smart, sexy, share their stories with them. That is our only source of knowledge.
Lastly, we resonate with those having similar views who are either in lifestyle, not a source, but more of a source that generates authenticals to help them find living lifestyle.
So these stuff,
right?
We get the stories about podcast. I mean, yesterday you got there some really, really like beautiful bathtub with podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We do. And we have some, but we're trying to and talk about it. We're not any kind of direction, throwing these what if scenarios in our stories, and you're like, let's go have sex, or interested in thinking about approaching that activity as a couple. It can,
Yeah. So talk about the kind of, or agree with, just take a moment and understand where we're coming from and what our mission, and hopefully that.
And we're not telling you not to eat. Actually, right. we really hearing you're aware, aware of where we can, to kind of meet your needs. I mean, we just like crazy and wild adventures. Yeah. If we can help you guys, that's definitely icing on. So if you don't agree with us, let us know. I want to put this creed out there, new website, but can look at it today.
Yeah. Really kind of podcast.
Yeah, that was kind of boring.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, what is it?
Well, this whole section is getting a little...
I don't think it is.
I got another email today, suggested that voice and make it.
Oh my God.
And program his wife's, he sends him a text that he hears voice. And that was so...
Sure.
Well,
yes.
I want to understand 5 things that Mrs. Jones... that is of our lives, and some to day in and day out. So, and turn them into a text, Mrs. Jones. Okay, Mrs. Jones here. And I just want you to say that from...
I have to...
Because I want people to record yours on iTunes. Go ahead. What's number 1?
You're wearing that?
I get that a lot. I come walking out and you look at me and you say, you're wearing the sexiest voice on iTunes. So
you should appreciate that.
Should appreciate it.
Because you dress well.
I'm just understanding that we are not... So we don't live this like...
You say... You'd rather have some 5 foot and nothing but lit.
I'm not saying a real wife.
You should be. Okay. This way. The other way is fast.
It's back to the whole navigator.
Okay, I have in the last 32 years.
Because you can just go with me. You have where you think it would have been fast. Right. Okay.
Sorry.
And Bud hasn't seen this list until now. It's number 3. Yeah. Yeah, that's what a funny noise.
I know. Well, not for 9 years now. I used to say that a lot.
Sexiest voice. What's the next one?
Wife. Well,
I want some to their wife's phone so that when I text the husband, they hear. Because that's the real Mrs.
But
Jones.
you napkin in a restaurant, and I just do it like nonchalantly, but you just try to like get it off your chin there.
Yeah. But you're not the tree going like, oh, let me wipe that off your chin. Index finger in your mouth. And you don't do that.
How about like that off your chin?
See, that now that's not you. What's the last one?
Okay. What's on your list of things?
Yeah. Right. The list. You're going to make me one.
What wives do.
Right there, for all of you people out there that
Seriously.
Mrs. Jones has said, the things that I hear day in and day out.
And do you out there hear the same stuff from their wife?
What different than us?
I know people.
Right. So hopefully free to go ahead and just tones off them. Okay. Probably get on with the podcast. Keeping up with the Joneses. Website work is still in progress to have that live by next month. Details.
Right.
When we got back from New Orleans, which took several days. And a podcast. We were talking about, I was laying in bed and people who that we know better, but just didn't do. And there was just,
right.
And so
we just didn't do like focusing. Sometimes you would be interested, something would distract, you just wouldn't come back to it. You weren't interested until after that.
Yeah, there was too much going on.
Yeah. Naughty New Orleans. Did you say 20 craziness?
Yeah.
So we came couples that we were really we let opportunity.
And then after that, we originally, after 2 weeks. Yeah.
So the weekend after Naughty down for an event.
Yeah.
And I have to stay.
Right. And it turned out that, hey, why don't you find us? Right after we had the conversation, we met in the country.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. We had this one night.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was getting ready for bed, and my bathroom just... I
believe we just got an email. Couples we were just talking about.
I mean, this was like 30 minutes.
And they found out they got called into town, and they wanted to know if we were available. I said, we were just dropped right in our laps. Responded right away and said, absolutely, have any plans? And they came down. And since we had met them, I just went ahead and invited them to the house. And they came to the bottle of wine.
Goodies from there. Really, really cool.
Yeah, they're So they brought some, and we had, she was dressed front door.
Yes, she was. Jumper on. It was adorable. Legs and long blonde.
Very beautiful.
Yes.
We cooked out on we not in New Orleans, and intelligent couple, really married for quite a while.
Yeah.
And
Really interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had so much, because I don't even think we had talked about that.
we only had time to talk about all runners, and we had that in New Orleans. But so we ended up the dreaded.
Please. I
had to send an apology email. Manufacture this game. Look, I don't really mean that it's a dumb, but I just think all games are. And I didn't at me anyway. .com, the style, and it's on their website. We get a lot. Anyway, we came downstairs. It was a huge success.
43.
Had some liqueur. Yep. Some room.
Somehow. Damn. Yeah. They were super sexy.
Yep. It was crazy. Yeah. You know, whenever a guy sucking dick, it'd be a good night. Yeah. How do you respond to that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think all good time.
We did. Yeah. They have to come back into town.
Travel a lot. Work out. Or you ticket.
Yeah, into their city before.
Actually enjoyed some of their gifts, and some brought some green chilies, and they said that stuff's like, you know, they just serve it up as each a jar. Well, Mr. Jones put hamburgers on the grill and forever growing tomatoes, so we had tomatoes, so we grilled burgers tonight. And I said, so green chilies or red chilies? Go with the green. So tasty. Yeah.
Anyway, it'll be good to, and then the gift when they got home.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for fun. We hope to see you. For keeping up with the Jones.
New Orleans, really.
Yeah. We tried to take it, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but crazy. And so, gotta pace ourselves. Yes. So when we come back, this party.
That's right.
And how it went too.
Okay, well, tonight we're house orgy. Oh, I mean, how?
Yeah, I don't know. We hosted a house party.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
No,
that way.
You couldn't plan. That was awesomeness.
Anyway,
yes. So I love to entertain, and now last year and moved out behind. So literally 6 months and take this something functional. Yeah. Luckily, went in for good measure and week.
Right.
Yeah.
We had always had this basement would be really good to. So we
live privacy. There's a lot of trees, so we do have.
Yes.
So we need potential.
Yeah. Describe it if we haven't done so. So cast room. And the bedroom has got double doors on it. It's a pretty large room. Yeah. We have a king size bed.
Amazon bed that we broke.
Yeah. On our sex swing, to large throw pillows.
Tell everybody how to do it.
Ceiling, and I just hollowed out a smoke, and I just put a smoke. Yep. It looks inconspicuous.
Sex swing, and you're like, what am I going to call it? Eye hook? It's just a big old hook.
It's a hook on the end of it.
Yeah, it's a hook detector.
Yep. Full bar, a full wine cellar, and then we have it took me 4 months to hear that story.
Oh my goodness, yes.
We have a spa room, table, and a lounge chair. We have a theater room, an aero bed in the couple of bathrooms. And then we have the bar, but we have a pub table.
Big sectional sofa.
So it was designed now.
Definitely.
Yeah. And we try to keep our first party on the smaller side, and we knew personally decided that we weren't, at least first, we weren't going to, kind of stuff and let it get out of how it was going to go.
Invited, I think, 14 and a single guy.
Yeah.
So, I think initially RSVP'd and day comes, or having, the bottom line is that and our single guy, right?
People all together. Yeah. That came.
So in other words, to say it.
We had played. So we were never met, and neither.
Right.
And very single guy experience. So I have a single guy here, because they all trusted us. Here's the other thing about this group, which is they all know us. We are as the Joneses.
Podcast when we met them.
So through Cassidy or Naughty.
Or some of them we met before.
So they just know us not as Mr. and Mrs. Jones. While and except for Tony. Yeah. Numerous ways.
Yes.
It's a little bit nervous about.
Well, right. Because you're first of all, and we were so excited each other because all of our friends so much. I mean, this was a group that we brought to get them to like each other. I mean, we were like, well, gosh, if we like, surely they'll like each other.
Confirmed at Naughty in New Orleans. We had this idea that they can us and they can relate to us. Well, if a room full of our and they all, then they're going to have something in common with. Proved out in New Orleans.
Yeah,
too.
really got along.
Yeah, so and that carried right in. Everybody was here just about. We didn't have to bring or a dessert.
And
Yeah, I think we might have a
Yeah.
start because make sure.
this was our first house party. We're going to little tweaking. Yeah. Oh, well, that's okay.
So everybody downstairs, and we brought the first time. We've been in this years.
8.
Lived here since we've been here. Had used our basement party.
Right. Well, we've had super.
Yeah.
That was with all of her crap.
Right.
Yeah.
So this was the space, and so we had the party. Everybody was kind of.
We didn't even hardly have to introduce.
They just started talking
and getting to know each other. Not on like street tightly, but we all had on
Well,
so-
you had like a club dress on,
like a short and a
well,
like a
that's-
black you could wear in public.
but that's lightning gown. Ladies had sexy dresses. Upstairs, everyone got to know each other, eating and drinking, and having. Oh, Mrs. Jones found a new dumb game.
And I just it's called Not Loaded it onto my iPad, ready to read. Go to the iTunes store. These charades. I don't know if they have it. Sorry. And Google platform or not, I don't know. It's called Naughty Charades.
You said that turns.
I did have to pay $1.99. It only comes
let me
with
wipe
like
that food off.
okay, mister. I did have to pay. That was slightly painful for me.
Yeah.
But it's $1.99. I got 300,
Yeah.
and it's like if it actually has a definition and that explains.
Word. It could be a phrase. Too.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of going through up teams, and it keeps score, and it has a timer on it.
Helped us.
Girlfriend is so outgoing, and she okay. Well, let's just go ahead and do.
Come into play later in
Yes.
the evening. So we lined up, and having Tony here is that every time we went through partner,
Right.
when you did the charade, that's the word, or you scored the point on the game.
Totally cheat and look at the other person. Got up there. I was a doofus, and
Yeah.
I'm terrible at charade. The other person, and if you got the point, even though it wasn't the one acting out the thing.
So everybody it was really a good game. And then after the game, we had to do one. We had the highest score.
Mr. Jones and I were not on the same.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, we would make the other team, whatever the next word was. Well, it happened to be all of us on the other team.
You
girls
guys
on
had the
other
extra
team. Yeah, we had
person.
the extra. And so all the guys, Sofa, and the girl.
I gave them blowjobs.
So that's what we didn't really win. We had the most.
I got to watch a pretty damn good show.
Hitting
Oh,
on.
well, yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, so I got to 3 very sexy guys.
And then we had to do an assessment as how things were going because
Yeah.
before and just to set that, we said, okay, say that this is okay. And
Right. Or we'll tweak it. And Ray was like, all right.
yeah, believe
All the guys dropped their drawers.
the guys sat right down. Yeah. Okay, we're in. It's a good sign for us that people were comfortable. They're strangers.
There you go.
Anyway, after the game, on, and we could hear all those
Heels clickety
click
clack.
upstairs as the guys were coming back down the stairs. And then we ate some more and we socialized, really connecting.
Flirty, yes.
Yes, very flirty. It happened to be Tony's birthday, giving him some birthday attention. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But really strange because and we said, okay, stairs, that's we have the aero bed and this massage and we have a hot tub, and I went upstairs that are set up. So bedroom is off limits, the middle play floor, but so people could go anywhere.
And the towels and blankets.
Yeah.
Pretty much fuck anywhere.
Of condoms, and we had rolls in every
mints.
room, and what started was husband and wife playroom, and they decided to because I wanted to make sure, and I helped her get from the host. These here were sexy. No. Yeah. Anyway, so I went in the bedrooms where the double doors is the bar. So and they get on the sex swing, which literally means he just and it got real. Everybody like picked up their drink to see what was going on. Remember that part?
I do remember that. Legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's pretty much all.
And then peeping into the room, sudden couples connect, kissing, and before
game on.
Now he was with their partner, but the people were couples, the wife,
right,
and going on time. And they were like in this room. Everybody was just Tony wasn't. Everything was going on. He came down all the way from New York, and right away comfortable.
Yeah,
there was people laying on bed. There was people on the swing.
Padded bench in that room. Some time on the bench.
Yeah, you spent some. One of our friends went down on me, and you were laying next, and there were people on this. All of a sudden, it just 10 minutes that they went in on that swing. It was stuff going on. So what was going on?
Well,
because the last time to was at Naughty in New Orleans a year when you freaked out.
And I bolted
with
right.
pen and page. So now we were in the situation, but these were
8. So it was as in, I think that was 6 couples last year in New Orleans. So people, but, but I had played with everybody,
You're
so there.
No.
Time you and I had was going to happen.
No.
I mean, venues set up in our house,
right.
Giving people these to find, places to met and connected with. But everybody ended up in one room, and I was in there. And I was kind of just and so, and I was kind of, the doors to that room open up onto the bar, just kind of drink and taking it all in. I was a little hesitant to dial.
Yep.
In my comfort zone. Meandering to the doorway. I remember if this was the first multiple interaction. I remember playing with friends. Because I played with both of them at this.
And we hadn't seen them. That was another good thing about we have so many friends, see them all. So having the party.
Right. So now we need to reconnect. Like there were so many couples about things that we needed to catch up on, and so much going on that was due. So anyway, I started out played with both of them at the same time. Very fun, because sensual, sexy people. We get it started.
And I think I were next to you.
Yeah.
At least 2 couples in the bed, and that just stuff was going on. So really, it was very free flowing. Everybody, it was swap. Unless that we're having sex, we're husband, but everyone was interacting. There wasn't any full swap.
Right.
So for an hour?
Oh, I mean, the party started, everybody was there at 7:15, ended at 2:30.
Yes.
Yeah.
It must have been longer than an hour in there. And then a couple of people got up and got water and went to the restaurant, food out. People started eating it. All the place stopped out and was on, which was surprisingly very
desire-ish.
Yes.
Because I think I have some clothes on. I mean, I'm standing around naked.
Back on, somebody would walk by and said, "Will you have your underwear back?"
Making fun of your underwear because these underwear, the brand name is clear. Everybody was making.
It was Superman underwear.
Yeah, I think it was your superpower or whatever.
Superman.
No, it was, you think you're you were clever, and then you're So yeah.
Anyway, we were socializing while there'd be some kissing going on.
And fruit and...
It was just, and I mean, people knew each other and we were laughing. I was looking around thinking, I can't feel comfortable with what's going on. Fun.
Our friends that we were there, oh my gosh, they stories. And it's because they bounce, she tells her side and he's like, and they are just so...
Yeah.
And sexy. Yeah. With that. Yes.
So anyway, we stood around. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Room is connected with our other friend.
Mention that because you were talking about all
soft swap was going on.
Yeah.
Before we all came out of the room, one of our friends came over to me and she said, "Have you come yet?" Like I was going to say yes. Anyway, I would have said no. I said, "Well, no." It's with my hand and pulled me and grabbed a condom. I full swapped. And at that point in time, next to us, and she was out of helping the guy himself. So my friend,
I think she did
and she kept saying, "Oh my." So when I laid down on the bed, I said, "Oh my gosh, this is so hot." She grabbed me and guided me in. It was on top of me. I didn't know it as full swap that happened.
Also, they were fucking their own wives.
Point in time, I knew you were somewhere, but I did kind of lose touch.
I think I was on the floor with Tony.
So anyway, after that was when we
yes.
and then all the socializing, and I think that we were going to go, but we talked in the morning. And it seemed like people's energy and stay overnight. Two of the couples had far. So going back into the playroom, just stood around and socialized, snacked and drank. For
a bottle of liqueur 40 had all those little plastic shot glasses. So I think everybody did around.
The shot glasses around.
Yeah.
And,
yes.
Yeah. The next couples and Tony stayed morning and you had a breakfast.
Two of the ladies trees, and I had made a couple rolls and
yeah.
Yeah.
And
much fun.
And conversation. It was just great each other, like how everybody was just super relaxed. And the few comments that we got, we felt pretty good that
I think most people were like, "Well, when are you having?"
Yeah. And we came back down.
So I hadn't the night before.
Well, there were a few people.
Right. Yeah. Socializing part kind of gotten on.
Right.
But some fun with one of our friends. I hadn't, which is fine. But he left. Mr. Jones is like, "Well, and I think we need to go use it."
And we'll come back to that. But we really then started.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it was that day. had family stuff going on. Not sure that we completely...
It's Monday. Yeah,
Right.
because we hadn't.
Right. And one night I said, well, we cast because we need to get tired.
It was Monday night, yeah.
And started sketching MetLife. Well, this until we talk a bit more.
Right. We had talked about it as hosts. We hadn't talked about it. Mr. and Mrs. Jones had reconnected. Yeah.
And that's when I feel a little bit uncomfortable how the evening went for you.
Right. So like group settings, we had this exact New Orleans last year and the couples New Orleans last year, and they were Saturday night as well. So especially bad for them because they subjected to my advice.
Well, it wasn't that noticeable.
I did it that night. The bottom line did not do a good enough together. We same room, and that's our rule. We're a same room couple. And this is so did a workshop on rules, like a couple, and one of our rules is on who we're going to play with together. But we were been intimate with multiple times. I mean, more than once.
Yeah, and we aimed that. No played or not, or who we ended up with, being with any of them, just
right.
So
we were morning or something. I remember and we said, okay, well, what kind of time?
Well,
and we were like, so everybody there, it doesn't game on.
Well, we didn't.
No,
because it would happen.
I thought maybe,
but then when it got down, I ruled that out because that'd be like from the rest of the people.
Well, I thought it was going to be the day at 17 because one of the guys had to go out of town for traveling as a single, too, which is perfectly understandable. We went from like to 17 morning, one of the couple feeling well, and she backed couple.
Yeah.
So a larger group, then we just assumed that branch off and split up. So for everybody to end up in the same 6 couples plus that awkward, we probably needed to maybe split up. So, but we couldn't do anything about it at that point. I just, I felt kind of rudderless. I thinking about it in my mind. I was, even though I was on my own. My decision at any lane was you were playing with somebody else. But we weren't like Shar. And it's so funny that we navigate in New Orleans better. 11 people our own home. I'm sorry. I just said it was my issue, not your issue. With several, I adore everybody. And my head was, nobody took offense to that. I truly care for everybody. And I kind of let them down. This is going to be Christmas morning. It's going to be the Godiva store and having all your to choose which one. The ultimate to have all of these people that home at the same time and self, because make any decisions. And I'm actually like career wise and like running the household. I'm not this passive as my husband to make all my decisions, but I needed you that night and occupied. And I'm not blaming it on you. I mean, it's my own body, my own decisions, but I couldn't, I played with a lot. I didn't end up couldn't it happen in my own head.
My perspective, same room, and I was a little bit overwhelmed. The overwhelming thing for me prevented me from you because, like you said, when it's 4 and we're shoulder to shoulder, there's sticks. But in the house, everybody in the room and everybody around, we lost contact with each other. Every once in a while, I would see that you were playing with our friend. The alarm never went off in my head. Uncomfortable until out of the playroom, standing there with your arms folded. I realized you didn't yourself, and I came and put my arms around you. And
one of our other friends came over, and I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And I said, "Yeah." And I don't even think. I think he picked up because I really didn't.
Right.
How disconnected I was.
So it was the first party for everybody. Really, I think I was the only ones that full swap. They had sex with their partner. Yeah, I was a little bit too, but anyway, and that's from last year too. You didn't. You said I just saw 2 gorgeous blondes.
I didn't know who he was fucking. I looked over, and there were these like around him, and I didn't even know. Thinking, I wonder what's going on. I got distracted. Somebody else said something. And I wasn't, my God, he's having sex with somebody. That wasn't it at all. Capable of decision or like pulling, it was come back out and we were drinking and all. That's one of our friends. You ready for round 2 with him? But I couldn't. And then somebody would say something and I couldn't make my with him, which is regret it.
Well, there'll be another party.
I didn't allow myself, obviously not, I think I could function under a hall pass. I'm your wingman or whatever. I just need.
Yeah. And we've had that approach it the next time.
Yeah. Next time we're going to have another one, and we're going to have another. I guess we need to pull the calendar and date in. Suddenly going to have to navigate my playtime. Do they want room together? I think that is, but no, I don't. That's not my deal. Twice now. Knowing the people, I can't blame. This was my own home. I don't know if it's just I'm insecure.
Oh, well. We'll
try again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how long have we been? Years?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still
haven't quite figured
here.
Yeah. Bottom line was everyone afterwards, and everybody wants to come back and do it again, and we'll add a dinner next time.
Sexy house party friends. Thank you, Susanna.
Yes.
We'll try a little more and make that play next time.
Yeah. So another one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and next time we won't be so the logistics says obviously from what we saw. Okay. We will talk about and then we will
stay tuned. Back to our snapshot. I've gotten a few Inspire listeners lately.
More.
And getting them. We really, and I think Mr. Jones and I. So mine is fairly new to, and it starts out at, actually this is of their first swap. My girlfriend and I amateur night at the strippers club entered the wet t-shirt contest, second place. Not heavy to begin with, afterwards. I'll watch porn, so I turned to making out. Intense when we started having sex. Then out of nowhere, when we had finished we basically passed out. The next morning, we were in the car with my friend, and things were a little awkward. Drove as neither of us knew. So I asked my friend to me, "What? Everything now?"
Perfect.
I know. And we knew we were both okay the night before. All in all, great friends.
Yeah. And somebody had just the next morning or the next day.
We were in New Orleans. One of the couple that we met at Colette the night, and we played with. We were in the afternoon pub crawl. I think the beach. Them and hugged them and kissed them. We were standing around chit chatting and like crazy loud and stuff. So it's awkward when you run into a couple there and you see them the next day. It doesn't have to be awkward. I said a lot of fun last night. I said I guess it was a disaster. Then I ran into a couple, but had a lot of fun with them the night.
That time, I just now remembered that a long time ago, that couple we met and we called it off because he was.
Oh yeah.
And early.
Yeah. That's right. We were running the next
running, and we ran into we waved a different direction, and we went a
different intersection, and we just each other.
We went right, and they went left.
Yeah, that
didn't go well.
Really bad.
Yeah.
With our new smashing list.
Yeah, and that's funny to diffuse that the next morning.
Yeah.
From met in New Orleans Snapshot. Our snapshot for a place when we learned they knew to the lifestyle decided with us on very attractive couple at our first moderated by Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Yes. Attention to us, not Florida.
Probably didn't hear a word we said.
No. So over the course of the day, and we need to run into the same couple group, and we attended with them, and we definitely felt the connection that they would want to take. On Friday, we asked them to tour that began across the. As we waited for a trolley bicycle, passing by, lost control of his bike tracks, causing him. There was a large trolley. However, my husband was the only one who making sure he wasn't injured belongings, but uninjured, and we prep. During the run, even better, discovering there had been primarily soft swap. A very pleasant afternoon to wonderful dinner and a sexy back at the hotel. Incredibly erotic evening with this special couple. Place. The next nano bar at the hotel when they informed us that the deal for her to play was seen previous afternoon, immediately helping his bike. Hearing that this couple was led to another fabulous play. We were even noticed such an act had meaning to them. Always finish last. Similar to from the West Coast. Well, and I said, hey, well, you guys just want to hang out and talk. Emailed me and she said that was that I, just to get together. Yep. Like, wow, that's what resonated with me.
Guys don't finish last in my book.
I used to think that. I don't think that anymore.
I like it nice.
Yeah. Jones.
So the whole group experience, it was also extremely,
It's a little strong, isn't it?
well, it was my problem. I don't know. At least it was ridiculous. Anyway, I initially kind of hung back, observing and I was kind of tied. I think I might have been refreshing my one really beautiful tattoo, and she was nieces of this bedroom. They're looking at that we have at the foot of the bed on that bench back to me, and beautiful figure and has ass in this back. So my snaps and her this bench. She was giving somebody a blow.
She was sitting on her husband's lap, and to her right was actually standing up, and she was giving him a blow to call.
That is my snapshot. A lot going on in there.
Two other couples on the bed at that. So that was quite the show.
It was all of that. Her ass and that tattoo was like the focal point, like in the background. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The snapshot was the next morning when, after everybody left, dragged you back down. Do you in the comment that you didn't get to finish that right now stairs, and I put you in the swing. I'm fairly tall. I'm like, put the swing up higher than I would normally like it, comfortable for most people. Adjust it so you got on it low for me. So
he had to do some work.
So there's one padded strap that goes at the middle of your like stirrups that basically float.
It's really comfortable.
Yeah, that all of that hangs off to a chain, which goes to this. Grabbed a hold of that metal bar. Had to squat completely under you. I was coming straight, and of course that meant with my arm, with my legs, I had put a blanket down.
Put down here.
Yes. You started gushing.
Oh, you were hitting the right spot.
But I was fatiguing. But it was one of those things where I let mind over matter. Kept going. And finally you made quite the... Ended up remember letting go of that. Bottles were like seizing up. Gosh, I was in a really awkward, but that was really hot.
Hot, and I'm really glad you script or beam or what.
Oh, it's not.
I
coming
think it
down.
was pretty much.
It was holding both of us. So.
Yeah, and look at that times, and the carpet was Yeah, that was hot, baby.
Yeah, and for a while, and we had put it on. So now that we have this now, it's always going to be up. Yeah. So nice snapshots, and we close. It's time.
Special announcement.
So. Just hang our good friends and we'll be right back.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Jones.
We missed you and listening friends too.
Many of all of the listeners journey at the same time and friendship with you that we...
Our podcasting and then me and physical into a genuine friendships grew together.
There was a bump in our road. Night we called you to talk to you. We had to pull down our show.
Night. As fun as podcast obviously exposes your... And when we started our show, that if we were ever say goodbye to our friend, go back to enjoying the life, we felt like that time had come for.
You both tried to talk to encourage us, but the best thing for us, and then read back.
Supportive as always. Missed you that if we ever do, would be the first one to know. So we stored and buried it deep under one would find them.
The lifestyle has been an awesome. So many great stories.
Yeah, we've still been out there. And as we do, we've loved with a sense of version as we've most influential and most podcasts out there. Really did love podcasting, didn't we?
Many parts of it when we stopped.
What did you miss most about podcasting?
I missed that we had this other together. The time about it, think about it, write it out, whine and record it.
As fun as swinging experiences are together, to have a journal back with each other. I miss.
Yeah, and we felt like we needed to pass on to people.
Stopped recording before it weren't done. Like we still had more topics and was unspoken.
Times in the past months we would end and collapse and say, "Wow, only tell somebody about that."
We realized that we missed.
So we.
Yep, it was time to open up that box off the microphones.
Work.
So you can look for the Swinger Diaries twice in just a few weeks.
Thank you to all of our listeners who encouraged us to return.
A special thank you. You have been ours and our...
We can't wait to tell you about all of our...
Swinger Diaries is going to...
I'm taking 100%.
Yeah, I didn't have any of all the credit.
Right.
They're just like totally...
When they called us, and the first time when they called us, they said, and I said 100% because we're going to pop you to send us they said that we would be the first. They recorded that for us, and we could get it in on this episode, and they're this week.
Yes. Well, today's Friday there, I think.
Yeah. So by the time people hear that,
right.
And we are at the airport.
Ask them at the airport.
Yeah,
that is.
We're going to be at the departure terminal.
We both had obligations.
Yes. And to the Swinger Diaries are invited to know by listening to them that they were just back and that they had missed it. Oh, when they went off, so touched by everybody reaching. So I think a lot of it was of an impact that they had. Back was, out there that were waiting back
and value
also
what they have to say.
It went out in the first place.
Right. And we understand that too. We just are we want to make sure for them. I mean, they're obviously, give them a little bit of time. And
I'm sure you'll hear from
their stories out there.
Back Swinger Diaries.
Yeah, missing from the lifestyle, been missing from the airwaves.
Yeah, several times.
Yes.
So we know they
stored up.
There's one.
I know.
Yeah. That was really fun.
Yes.
And I said we're going to go to Desire. I'm pretty certain in September our next podcast might mention Desire. And we're also excited that are going to come over, and so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, Playboy Swing, Playboy Radio. So they're going to be broadcasting.
Yes.
They're looking forward to seeing them again.
And maybe grabbing dinner with them.
So.
Yeah. What is this? Episode 20. Let's put the wraps on this thing. iTunes reviews. Mrs. Sexiest on iTunes. We're going to have on our new website or how to leave an iTunes review.
Rather convoluted, but we really, really appreciate it. Really treasure the lovely things you have.
And the emails are dropping off. Free to email us. We passed or haven't. We want to hear from Jones, mrjo.com, WGING, or Mrs. Jones. You're doing a pretty good job. Mrs. Jones. Our website. Follow us on Twitter. We also have a cat. So please join us there. Anything else?
It's time to go around the corner to the.
Well, it's time to sign off. Our Mr. and Mrs. Jones and.